Hi, today we're going to be looking at a stem and leaf graph, and these are incredibly useful for displaying data in a convenient way. Now, what we have when we have a stem and leaf graph is we have a stem, which are our tens or our multiples of 10, and then ultimately we have a leaf, which is going to be our units. And when we combine them together, so if I do 5 and 6, what this actually means is this means the value 56. Okay, so any stem and leaf graph can also include double digits. So if I have a stem and leaf graph that looks like this, and this is my stem, and I have 26 and 0, what this actually is 260. Right? If there's a 1 here, that's a separate data value, and that one there will be 261. So each individual point here on the stem on the leaf part, is an actual individual data value. So when we have our data values looking like 261 and 260 and maybe 262, in reality, we can convert all of these to being a 0, a 1, and a 2 with the same exact stem in every single one. Right, so let's get started on this question and how to solve it. So the first thing it asks us is to list all the values for these science scores that have been shown. And because this is in order, we can start from lowest and go all the way through. So our first one, we have all the stems 50 or 5, and then our units 6 and 7. So this is going to be 56 and 57. And for our next one, we've got the stem 6 and 1, so that's 61, 64, 65, and 68. Next we have 7 and 0, so 70, 72, 73, 76, and 79. Okay, and those are all our data values. Now we can use this information to answer our second question, which is asking how many scores have been recorded? Well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. 11 separate scores have been recorded for the science quiz. Now let's look at C. What are the minimum and maximum scores? So our minimum score is going to be 56, that's our smallest, and our maximum score was going to be 79. And you can also see this on the stem and leaf graph. The one that's the furthest along and the one that's just started is going to be our minimum and maximum values. Okay, so we're going to do min is equal to 56 and max is equal to 79. So now it wants the range. So if we remember correctly, the range is the same as our max value minus our minimum value for our data set. Alright, so in this case, that is 79 minus 56. Alright, and that is 23. Now finally we have to talk about the median. So we'll do the median over here for E. So each one of these data values essentially is already in ascending order, and we can consider basically how many data values we have and find our center score. So for 11 data values, it's an odd number. That means that we'll have one particular number right in the center and then an even number of scores on either side of it. Alright, so if we have 11 scores, then in theory then we should have 5 scores either side of this middle value. So here's our first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. And our sixth score here should be our median. And then everything either side should have the same number of values. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for this, our median is equal to 68 as our most central value. Alright, here's one for you guys to practice, so just give it a go, pause the video and I will solve it for you in just a moment. Okay, and let's get started. So for our first one A, we have write all the numbers in a list. So let's get started with our first stem here. We've got 1 and then a 5 and 1 and an 8, so 18, then 20, then 22, and then 26. And then we have 29, 31, 33, 34, 37, and then we have 40 and 42. So there are all our data values. How many do we have? We have 12. So we have 12 couriers represented by this data. Let's look at C. What do we have? What is the minimum and maximum number? So the minimum, as we call, is the minimum is down here and the maximum is up the end. So our minimum value is equal to 15 and our maximum value is equal to 42. Okay, what is the range of the packages that have been delivered? So our range is going to be equal to our max minus our min, and that's just equal to 42 minus 15. Okay, and that is 27. Alright, so now for E we're going to find the median, and in order to find the median, what we need to do is recognize that our number of data values is even. And that means what we need to do is have two central values, add them together and divide them by 2. So what are our two central values going to be? Well, they're going to be our 6th and 7th value. So let's have a look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So it's the 9 and the 1. And what you have to look at is that what this creates is an even number of data values on either side. Both sides of these two numbers have 5 values. Right, so now that we have that, we have to do our median is equal to, 29 plus 31 all divided by 2. So 29 plus 31 is just 60, and 60 over 2 is going to be 30. So our median value for this data set is 30. Alright, that's it for this video, so I hope it was helpful, and I will see you in the next one.